Have you ever wondered, what if the world stopped spinning, time frozen for everyone and everything, except you? Well, hold on tight, because today we're diving headfirst into that astonishing hypothetical. Welcome to the latest episode of What If Facts. Here's where science, imagination, and the unbelievable come to life. Picture this. You wake up one morning and realize time has stopped for everyone else. Streets are eerily frozen mid-action. Cars frozen mid-drive, people stuck in mid-conversation, even the steam of your morning coffee frozen in the air. The world is silent, except for the beating of your heart. Sounds thrilling, right? But before you make grand plans to explore this odd new reality, let's figure out how this might actually work. First, imagine the physics of suspended time. Time, according to scientists, is a measure of change. A ticking clock, molecule vibrations, atoms interacting, and so on. If time literally stood still, all these processes would halt. People wouldn't age, objects wouldn't move, and even light would freeze in place. Yet somehow, in this scenario, you'd remain unaffected, free to walk through this frozen tableau. How could that even happen? Scientists speculate that if time were to locally stop, a colossal amount of energy would be needed to isolate one individual from the flow of time itself. Think of it like creating a magical bubble around you, one that allows you to move and act in real time while everything outside freezes. But where does this energy come from? Maybe an artificial intelligence invented a hyper-advanced time bubble device. Or perhaps it's a quirk of nature, like winning the most unlikely lottery in the universe. Either way, your existence as a temporal anomaly would have fascinating consequences. Now, let's talk about the freedom this would give you. In a frozen world, you could explore places that are normally off-limits. Ever wanted to sneak into an art museum after hours and examine history's masterpieces up close? Yep, that's suddenly possible. Or imagine climbing rooftops and getting a bird's-eye view of your city at sunrise, all without risking being seen or interrupted. The sheer scope of what you could accomplish would be limitless. No lines at theme parks, no traffic jams, no waiting for anything ever again. It feels like the ultimate form of freedom. But wait, there's a flip side. What about the moral implications? Would you feel tempted to exploit your powers for personal gain? Would you borrow things or venture into places you really shouldn't? And what about the loneliness? Being the only moving being in a world of statues might feel isolating after the novelty wore off. When no one can respond to you, no one understands what you're experiencing, your mental health could spiral. Would the ability to temporarily suspend time be worth the potential emotional cost? Intriguingly enough, freezing time could let you become incredibly productive. Got a massive deadline tomorrow? No problem. Freeze time, finish your work, and then unfreeze the world to submit your masterpiece. It sounds perfect in theory, but here's a problem. Your body would still experience the passage of time. You'd age normally even as the rest of the world remained static. This time dilation effect means you'd effectively be speeding through your life while everyone else stayed the same. In fact, using your time-freezing ability frequently could mean missing out on shared moments and milestones with family and friends who remain unaware of your isolated time escapades. And, of course, there's the time mechanics to consider. Would outpacing the universe in this way mess with natural laws? Physicists hypothesize that time and space are intertwined. Messing with it could create paradoxes. For example, let's say you decided to prevent an accident from happening. What if that creates a ripple effect, changing outcomes in ways you can't foresee? Maybe even those little changes could rupture the fabric of time itself, creating a cascading timeline disaster. Now imagine the global implications. If technology allowing time control fell into the wrong hands, or even just any hands, it could lead to chaos. Governments might chase you down for the secret to this power. Others might use it for espionage or crime, completely reshaping society's sense of security. The idea of someone stopping time could grow into the ultimate power struggle. The ethics of handling this massive responsibility would be enormously complex. Would you use this power to become a modern superhero, fixing crises the world didn't even realize had happened? Or would you keep it a secret and live a quieter life? But how long could you realistically sustain yourself in a frozen world? Food wouldn't cook, water wouldn't flow from a frozen tap, electricity wouldn't hum through wires, and forget about the internet. Survival would depend on everything in your bubble working correctly, and you generating your own sustainable resources. Could you, as a lone human in a paused world, build or sustain a miniature functioning ecosystem? It's essentially an ultimate test of resourcefulness. Think about how perceptions of time form in human minds. Would knowing you can stop and start time alter your perspective on life itself? For most of us, time represents forward momentum we can't escape or control. Would mastery over this force make you feel like a god, existing apart from the regular flow of the universe? And if time could be stopped indefinitely, wouldn't that devalue the concept of urgency, motivation, or purpose? Is something precious because it's fleeting? Or could endless moments rob you of that appreciation forever? In sci-fi, the idea of moving through a frozen world is a recurring theme, seen in stories like The Girl Who Leapt Through Time or the cult classic Clockstoppers. These tales often highlight the allure, mystery, and danger associated with controlling time. But can fiction ever compare to what it could feel like to physically live through such a phenomenon? Now here's a thought experiment. Let's say time stopping worked on levels that allowed you to pause only specific people or events. Instead of halting the entire universe, you could pinpoint and isolate actions. You could dodge accidents, prevent disasters, or carry out tasks invisibly. This fine control would revolutionize justice systems, with eyewitness accounts taking on a whole new meaning. Imagine pausing a criminal mid-action. It's both heroic and profoundly intrusive. It's fascinating to consider how society might react to the emergence of an individual with these godlike abilities. Perhaps the best lesson from contemplating such hypotheticals is gaining awareness of just how valuable and fragile time really is. What might seem like a superpower could easily become a burden. And while the fantasy of stopping time is enticing, the realities introduce far-reaching consequences for morality, legality, and personal existence. So, in the end, would you click pause on the world, or cherish each ticking second as it naturally comes? That's it for today's dive into the astonishing realm of possibilities in what-if facts. Let us know in the comments what you'd do if time stood still for everyone but you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and smash that bell icon so you never miss another mind-bending exploration of what-if possibilities. Until next time, keep asking the big questions, because you never know where imagination might take you.